So my son has a job now, and I feel like he should help me around the house with the bills. So I told him starting
For
February.
what? No,
I told him starting February 1st, he's gonna start paying $500 a
for
month,
what?
and then he's gonna start paying his cell phone. I've been paying his cell phone since he had a cell phone
You
since
have
he was
not been paying
7.
my
You paid your
phone
phone bill like 2
bill.
times.
I pay my own
Anyway,
bill.
Anyway, parents, do you think he should start paying rent? He feels like he don't have to pay rent. You want to give your part real fast?
I'm 17, bro. What am I paying rent for?
You can't stay nowhere for free. You
I know.
work.
When I'm 18, I'll figure that out.
No,
I
you're gonna
gotta.
figure it out now. $500 a month. I don't care what he say. Either 500 or the door.
Was she on her sweatshirt? At what age should your child start paying rent?
Why are you first of all, she said he should be helping me out. Your child is not obligated to help you do anything. And he's 17. $500 a month is a lot for a 17-year-old. Like, he should be concentrating on school, not getting a job so he can have somewhere to live. And I feel like one of the main obligations as a parent to a child is to make sure that they have the best foot forward when it's time to actually leave the house. And I don't think that charging him rent is helping him do that. I think it's setting him back.
I had to kind of disagree with you a little bit, Kim, only because I don't say charging rent, but I said it on here before. At the age of 18, to teach responsibility, what I would do with my goddaughter, right, was okay, you check 500, I want 150, right? That's what bill you're gonna pay. But what I did was put it up in her savings account. So when she was ready to move out and get her own place, she had all that money saved up. On top of that, taught her responsibility on how to pay bills, because most of these kids are getting out here at 18, 19, and they don't even know how to budget. So if she does it right, I don't see what the problem would be, but I feel like she's not doing it right at all. So
I've always heard that. I've always heard people say, "Oh, it teaches them responsibility and teaches them how to pay bills." Them giving you money every month is not teaching them shit. Let's start there. It's not teaching them shit. You're not teaching them how to pay any fucking thing. You know what I'm saying? You're just teaching them how to fucking put money in your hand. Like, that's not teaching them how to pay shit. You know what I'm saying? And furthermore, 500 is crazy. 500 is crazy. I feel, this is just my personal opinion, I only believe when parents come out with crazy numbers like that is because they're fucking broke and they can't do it on their own. That's all it is. That's all it is. I've been taking care of myself. Mind you, I've had my own apartment on my own since I was 18 years old. You feel what I'm saying? So I never did the whole paying my parents rent and all of that other shit. Even before I moved out, they never really made me pay rent and shit like that because they handled that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've been stable and on my own since 18 years old. Why the fuck am I making my kids pay me rent? Now, the part that Miss Sanchez said about putting money, that is my plan for my children. They're gonna give me a certain amount of money. I'm gonna put it away, but charging $500 a month is crazy for a 17-year-old. How much fucking money do you think they making at 17? Like, what the fuck are we talking about?
There's a better way to teach her how to budget, to teach anybody how to budget. I
Facts.
mean,
not just budget,
charging them money is not teaching them how to budget. I'm just taking your money. You're still not learning how to budget.
Facts.
I
Yeah,
think
she's just taking
so.
that nigga cash because she
I
broke.
think you can learn how to budget, because
Facts,
if you're
Lemmy.
getting your check, you're teaching them, okay, I only get 500 a month. I know I got to pay my mama this 150 or whatever's going to happen. And then I got this much. That is going to teach them how to budget.
No, it's not.
They could still end up broke.
Teach them how to be
So
responsible.
No,
The
it's
problem
not.
is we baby these kids so much, and then they get out and they don't know how to do anything. And what's wrong with, getting the money and then putting it up so then when they do leave, they have all this money saved up so that they can be on the right foot.
A woman who's saying, I need my child to help me out is not putting up money
Facts.
for
Well,
the
yeah,
child once he gets out.
Facts.
yeah, not her, but I'm just speaking on how I would move forward in that situation.
So at what age should they have to start paying rent?
I'm gonna say
In
18,
my house,
they can
never.
still be in high school, whatever. I'm gonna give them to 19. Then we're gonna start this budgeting thing. We're gonna, see how.
Let me ask y'all a question. Does it change depending on whether you're a girl or a boy?
Mm-mm.
No.
Yes. Yo,
Why does it change when?
man, if you're a boy, you got about till 4 years after you get out of high school, then you can pay some rent. If you're a girl, you can stay here as long as you want, rent free, until another nigga take you from me.
This nigga
Why you look like
crazy.
that, Slimmy?
I don't have kids. It's honest discussion for me. Y'all got it. I just thought that was crazy. Some sexy shit.
Well, I don't think it matters if you got kids or not. It's just a general, because it's just the icebreaker, right? Before we get into the other stuff.
I don't know. I don't think I would charge my kid rent.
Exactly.
Like, I don't see the purpose in that. Like, I'm not a. If you got to stay with me, it's for a reason.
Bingo.
It's because you have yet to sprout your wings to do things on your own. Now, I do like what Ms. Sanchez said, like, setting money aside. You give me a certain percent, a certain amount that I could put in your account, but you think you paying a bill. I mean, so that's smart. But like saying I'm gonna charge you $500 rent, that's kind of wild.
Yeah, that's wild, son.
I need you to help. Man, shit. Can they be a kid? Can they be a teenager? Can they be a young adult?
Yeah, that's
The fuck?
like honestly, I'm gonna keep it a stack. All right, I'm gonna do some math real quick. I'm gonna do some math, right? I need to know what's the minimum wage where I live, right? Boom. Where I live, and this is fucking ridiculous. The minimum wage is $7.25 in Texas. $7.25, right? Let's do some fucking math. $7.25 times 40 hours a week. It's $290 fucking dollars before taxes. $290. $290. And that's before taxes. So if you get paid every 2 weeks, that's $580. Before taxes, every paycheck. Before taxes, every paycheck. So that means, pardon me. So that means every month you're only making $11.60 a month before taxes, and you want to take $500 of that? What the fuck is they supposed like? Come on, man. As a teenager, you know damn well they want to do other shit with their money. Now, am I gonna allow my kid to blow all his cash? No, but I'm not taking $500 from him either. You feel what I'm saying? My plan, even before watching this video, me and my lady had already spoke about this. My plan was always to take a portion of their paycheck and save it for them. However many years they're under my roof, and then whenever they feel like they ready to get up out of here and do their own thing, whether that be after they get a decent job and all of that, they have something to go out there with. You feel what I'm saying? They're not just going out there with nothing. You feel what I'm saying? So, yeah, that's crazy. $500 a month is wild.
What was you doing? I don't know. It's kind of strange to me, man. But, this the day and age we live in. Like, most people, they aren't financially sound. So
Facts.
they got to do what they think to survive. And this that kind of reminds me of like back in the 90s and the early 2000s. You used to hear about kids that had all these bills in their name and their credit was fucked up by the time they was like 17, 18 because their parents had used their name for bills and they didn't pay them and it was all fucked up, man. It was really bad, just financial situations when we were growing up and you would hear all this shit. It was so strange to hear, man, but it's just like,
glad my parents never did that.
We was somewhat getting out of that, but I guess we aren't. So yeah, no, I don't believe in no kid paying no damn rent. That's crazy. I would say like, yeah, around maybe like 18 though, we got to show you how to like start managing your finances.
Facts.
You should.
And there's ways to do that without fucking taking from them. Because let's be real. Let's be all the way 100 here. Let's keep it all the way stacked. A lot of these parents, they just taking their fucking kids' money and doing whatever the fuck they want with it. You know what I'm saying? They not fucking paying no bills with that shit. They taking that shit and doing whatever the fuck they want with it. You feel what I'm saying? You ain't fucking building them no nest egg. You ain't teaching them shit. You just taking fucking money from them because you need it. You dig what I'm saying? That's all it is. That's why a lot of them be like, oh, you either do this shit or you get out. Shit is whack. You charging them because you can't fucking do it on your own. And you fucked off your whole life doing bullshit and been fucking your money up your whole life. And now you want to put this burden on your fucking kid. Call a spade a spade.
Really learned before that, but like we gonna really put it to the test.
I agree. I think kids should be taught in layers early on, just little things, responsibility, but not your bill somewhere
Facts.
that I pay for and you have to live up under me. I don't think that I think a kid should be a kid. And
Facts.
now when you turn 18 or whatever, you could still live with me. I think that if there's anything that you want, like if you want a game system or you want your first car, I think I should be able to set you up, or your father should be able to set you up for financial management, financial information, so you can not set yourself up for failure, put yourself in debt.
Facts.
But I don't believe in charging a kid rent. And if there's anything that I'm trying to teach them how to save, I would save it for them myself. I think my kids should be put in a property by the time that they turn a certain age. If not, then I'm behind, because that reflects off me. If I'm still in a position where I have to teach them how to save and get their own apartment, I feel like I'm just behind. What example am I setting for them? If that happened to us when we had to, I don't know about anybody else, but I got put out my house early. Well, I kind of left, but still,
Small caveat,
yeah. Couldn't wait to leave.
Big thing, but little thing,
I'm with you, Lex. I left at 17. Bye.
You left at 17?
Mm-hmm.
Enlisted in the army.
I graduated at
Bye.
17 though.
But you left and went to college, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of rent. I'm not a fan of that at all. I do think that there's a difference between guys and girls. Because guys, you got to kind of teach them to be responsible. From the rent perspective, nah, I don't believe in like buying a young guy a car. You know what I'm saying? I think that you should have to go to work and save up and go and get your own car.
Yeah, I had
But
to.
as far as practicing group economics, I'm a fan of group economics. I'm a fan of staying with each other. I'm a fan of not branching out too early and
Facts.
crashing out and all of that. So I'm a fan of that. I'm a
Facts.
big fan of that. I'm a fan of it so much so to where, like, I think that even when people get married, sometimes they should just still stand pat instead of trying to branch out too fast and too early. So, as far as the girls go, I just think that girls should be able to stay as long as they want. I don't believe in pushing the girls out because, you don't want them to ever be out there growing up too fast. You don't ever want them to ever feel unsafe. You don't ever want a young girl to, have to do something that she wouldn't normally do if she wasn't safe. I just believe in giving girls that covering.
I get it.
And for guys, I think that young guys should have to build on their own, but they shouldn't be pushed out. And so I'm not a fan of the whole rent thing at all. I don't even like rent in general. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just, I'm not a fan of that having to be a part of your budget just because that's what we've been doing a long time for American culture. I'm just not a fan of it at all. I think that shelter should be something that we all, um, like from a family perspective, like you, I think it should only be one generation that have to pay for shelter. Once that one generation pays for it, the future generation should not still be having to suffer from that same situation. So
Mm,
I'm not a fan of passing that on. I think that that's a like a generational trauma. I believe that
mm.
one generation figure it out, and then we just learn how to care for and take care of what it is that we've already paid for. We should not be still paying for shelter and paying for shelter and paying for shelter and paying for shelter. That's unless you want to live a certain lifestyle, unless you want to move into the city or whatever, but you should still have that property and a family and still be rocking out. So I'm not a fan of.
I like that. I like that. I actually like that. I never thought of it in that way, even though I kind of I kind of think my family could have had that because but actually on both sides, actually, my mother's side and my father's side. Because both of my grandparents, like my grandmother and my grandfather on my mother's side, and then my grandmother on my father's side, they both owned homes. Both of those homes were paid off. But as well, from my mother's side, I can speak that once my grandparents passed away, they left the house to my mom's. You feel what I'm saying? But then, siblings and all of that shit, motherfuckers get money hungry. They want to sell the house and all of that other shit. We could have had that house to this day. Pardon me, but motherfuckers get greedy and want to do all the bullshit. You know what I'm saying? But then on the other side of the coin, my other grandmother's house, her house was paid off as well. You feel what I'm saying? Like, and if we'd have kept those in the family, I believe those could have been, you know what I'm saying, like the safe havens. You feel what I'm saying? Because let's just say you fall on hard times and it's like you get evicted and it's like, shit, I ain't got nowhere to go. But nah, go to mama house until you get your shit together. You know what I'm saying? Like that's my way of thinking. Like the house I have now that I just purchased, I hope that I can instill in my kids that keep this. You know what I'm saying? Don't let this go. Even if you want to branch off and do your own, eventually they're gonna branch off and do their own thing. But even when my time on this earth is no longer, I pray that they keep this home. Even if they want to just rent it out or whatever the case, because by the time I go, to be paid off any fucking way. You know what I'm saying? Because I have contingencies in place to where even if it's not paid off, by the time when I go, it will be paid off. You feel what I'm saying? So they won't have to deal with none of that. You feel what I'm saying? And they will own it outright and all of that type of good stuff. So hopefully, you know what I'm saying, they would keep it and then pass it on and shit like that. So I like what he's saying and where he's going with it. You know what I'm saying? But most of us are not taught those type of things. And I wish we were.
Forcing people to pay rent as a result of trying to teach them responsibility. I think that you should earn what you get and then teach people to budget effectively for the things that they want. So that's kind of my life philosophy.
That's a fact.
Molly, what do you think?
Don't fuck it up, Molly.
I think that if it were me at 17, I would probably, I probably would not be charging my child for rent. I don't know. It doesn't make sense to me. Maybe have them pay for like their clothes or shoes or something like that themselves, have some type of responsibility, but taking their money to pay my bills, no, I couldn't do that. I don't know why.
Yeah, shit
people
just
in
don't make
poverty
sense.
be having sex, because why are you exploiting your child for
What?
resources? And then you're posting it and broadcasting it on the internet. Like, that's kind of abusive. I don't like that. I think the idea of charging them and maybe saving it for them, so if they do want to move out, they have something like a down payment or something to start with. But that lady's so ghetto. I feel so bad for her son. I feel so bad. And I hate when adults have children in poverty and then use them as a meal ticket. I feel bad for him. He don't have no father. He's a son husband already at 17.
Yep.
That's very
Facts.
unfortunate. And this is a lot of these boys' reality. So I think it's unfortunate. I wouldn't do it.
Honestly, I think that's another thing that played a part in me not like my parents not really charging me rent and all of that type of shit. Granted, I wasn't in the house long enough after I turned 18, but I believe that played a part because my parents was married my whole life. You know what I'm saying? Like I've had a 2-parent household my whole life, other than when my father went to prison. But outside of that, you know what I'm saying? Like I've had a 2-parent household my whole life. So I think that played a part, you know what I'm saying? Because my father took care of the finances. And granted, they both worked, you know what I'm saying? But well, my mom's worked after, you know what I'm saying, after my dad went to prison. But like I said, I never had to deal with none of that shit. Like we never had to deal with none of that type of shit. You know what I'm saying? When Pops was home. You feel what I'm saying? So I believe that plays a major part. A major part. Because when you hear of 2-parent households, you don't hear about none of this shit. It's mainly from single households. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I believe there's better ways. There's better ways to teach a kid responsibilities. There's better ways than having them pay some of your fucking bills. There's better ways. You know what I'm saying? If you can't afford the way you're living above your fucking means. Make some cutbacks. You can't teach them to be financially responsible, and your ass ain't even fucking financially responsible. So what are we talking about? You dig what I'm saying? You living way above your means. So scale back a little bit and figure it out.
Personally, unless I was going to give it to them.
I'm with you.
Yeah, it is a lot of young people that are burdened. I think it's a blessing to be in a position to be able to take care of a parent comfortably, like give them all of the things or whatever, so on and so forth. But I think that it could be a curse when you have to shoulder that burden as though they are your spouse or they're your they're forced to be a responsibility versus it being something that you're doing because this is just something that you have extra and you want to do for them. I
Facts.
think that that's messed up
Yeah, I agree with that.
because there's a lot of parents that raise their kids to take care of them.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Shit is
indentured
nasty.
servitude as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, and I've heard parents say, "Oh, well, they owe me." They don't owe you
Don't owe you
anything.
shit.
I just don't. I don't believe in that. I don't like it. I don't like how we, as Black people in particular, start over every generation. I think
Mm-hmm.
that's ridiculous. Like you were saying, Anton, like paying for shelter over and over again every single generation is insane. Like, what can we give the next people something to build on? Like, we don't even give them the wisdom. We don't even teach them credit or whatever. We just let it just go on, fail, and then talk about them behind their back. Like, all of that bothers me.
Look at Slimmy.
What's wrong, Slimmy?
I don't know. That last part was just like, what?
What last part?
She said, go ahead and fail and talk about them behind their back.
Because that's
That's
what people do.
Yeah,
You
because
know,
all
then when the
stuff
child comes
crazy.
in
home
your
and it's
face.
like the child comes home because they've not done as well as they thought they were going to do. And it's like, well, in this
Yeah.
lady's case, I would put money on her saying, "You're just like your daddy." And that's what I promise you that kind of stuff would come out of her mouth.
I would have told him to say 2 words to her: nursing home. Keep playing. See, you can get to that age when you like
You
in your
got
late
her.
20s and it's like, okay, you want to keep playing games, lady or man? Come here, say it with me. Because you're going to need me. Like, no.
Yeah. Well, I definitely would not charge my kids rent. Period. point in the
Hell
blank.
no.
So, and
It
I
don't make
think that
sense.
financial literacy, all of that stuff needs to happen way earlier anyway. And I think Lex, you said like in levels and steps.
But
So
we keep talking about like financial literacy. I think that most adults don't,
Thank,
they not financially
thank you.
literate. You can't teach.
Thank you.
You got people that are illiterate having children, and
that's
then we
true.
try to teach children how to be literate with their finances, and we're not literate
Facts.
with our finances.
I just
You
said
know what
that.
I'm saying? So that's a hard ask for generations and cultures that can't even read past the third and second and third grade level. You know what I'm saying? So it's difficult to be like, oh man, we need to teach our kids financial literacy. Who?
Well,
I think if nothing else, find
that's
some
true, but
YouTube
you got to
videos.
that. Go
They
ahead.
people have, these iPad kids running around all day playing Fortnite or whatever it is they're playing. Like, pull up a YouTube video on financial literacy or
Why would
something.
they do that?
Right.
Because even if you don't know it, that doesn't mean that your child can't. Like, find a way for them to learn it.
Listen, we are products of the environments and the cultures that we exist in. When I was coming up, the only thing I wanted to do once I got of age was, or not even once I got of age, like when I was younger, like when I say younger, I'm talking about before I even hit middle school, before I even realized that it's a bigger world out there. I was thinking to myself, oh, I'm gonna be at the plant. I'm gonna be at Ford Chrysler or GM. I'm gonna give me some A plan papers. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna get me either a Mustang or a Lincoln because I'm gonna probably work at Ford. I'm gonna get them A plan papers and I'm gonna be good. You know what I'm saying? And so that was what I grew up thinking that life was going to be like until I got into a space where I got to see that the world was a lot bigger than the environment that I grew up in because that was the culture in Detroit.
Mm.
Like hey man, somebody to get me in a plant, and then that's it. That was the move. So, you don't know what you don't know because this is all that we know. This is all that we taught.
I can agree. I can agree with that. Most people can't see the world outside of their neighborhood. I used to be one of those people until I joined the army. I'm not gonna lie. I used to be one of those people that now I ain't never leaving the hood. I never leave the hood. I never get out. But you know what I'm saying? Like I used to be one of those people that I could not see anything outside of my neighborhood. You dig what I'm saying? Pardon me. But then when I joined the military and I'm moving around a little bit and I'm seeing different things and I'm like, yo, it's fucked up where I'm from. You know what I'm saying? Like it's really fucked up where I'm from. You know what I'm saying? It took and I'm telling you, a motherfucker gotta leave in order to understand that shit. But most people are too fucking afraid to leave. They're too fucking afraid of the unknown. They're too fucking afraid to they're too afraid to get away from the normal. So they bask in it and they stay there. You know what I'm saying? Right now, I live in Texas. I don't live in New Jersey no more. I'm born and raised in New Jersey my whole life. When I joined the military, I left and I started seeing other things, and I'm like, yo, it's a way better way to live. You feel what I'm saying? And here I am now. I just decided, I'm like, you know what? It's time to go. Because when I got out the military, I went back. I didn't want to go back, but I went back because of, you know what I'm saying, the certain situation that I was in. Ended up going back to Jersey, but then it was like, nah, I gotta go. You feel what I'm saying? So I agree with that. Most people you don't know until you know. You know what I'm saying? Like until you are brave enough to just pack your shit and go, you'll never know.
I just don't buy that in 2026 anybody who is over 30 doesn't at least know that the idea of being good with your money, of growing your money exists.
It's not
Now
that they don't know.
whether
Go
or
ahead.
not we're
Sorry.
doing it is a whole other thing. And I agree. Like people aren't doing it, people is difficult, all of that stuff. But I don't think that therefore means that people are oblivious to it and they can't make a decision to make a change. So I mean,
Again, but by the time that you're 30, that's a hard road, right? Because you basically have to basically go through some hella shit or hit a rock bottom in order for you to flip a switch, because you've already basically spent the first 30 years of your life being programmed that this is the way that life is. Even if you discover something, and that's why they always say you can't teach a dog, old dog new tricks. Or if you really want to change a culture, you got to basically change a young child and start there, because
Facts. It
people
start
are
with the
already
youth.
pre-programmed to look at and see life a certain way. So we think, for example, that we are making our own decisions. Most epiphanies come because of a life circumstance. It doesn't come from our own choice. Our own choice is usually whatever it is that's happening around us. Most people, I would say 95% of people, are sheep. They follow whatever everybody else is doing around them, and then they justify it by saying, well, everybody else is going through it too. It ain't really that big of a deal. And that's why when you go into certain environments, whether you go into the South or you go into the North or you go up to the East, or even in cultures where they generate a lot of revenue, right, where it's an exceptional amount of wealth, there is an expectation and people adapt to that, right?
Mm.
The biggest problem that I had when I was growing up is that I was being pulled in two different directions, because I had discovered when my father had sent me to private school that it's a whole nother fucking world out here.
Mm.
And then I had to go home, right? And when you're going home and you're walking through the hood, and it's like, where the hoes at? You know what I'm saying? The niggas are smoking trees. And then you go over to here, and the kids is driving BMWs to school, and they talking about, and they having a conversation, and you ask them, well, what do your parents do? Or you on, you on a basketball team, and this nigga hooping for fun because his parents is doctors, and he don't even give a fuck about whether or not he get a scholarship or not, because his expectation is to be like his father. You know what I'm saying? Because that is the culture, that is the environment that they grew up in. So by the time people get 30, a lot of times they're already pre-programmed that I'm just a product of my environment. This is what it is that I'm gonna be, even if they don't say it out loud. And so a lot of times, in
Mm.
order for you to have that discovery moment, you got to really go through some shit. You got to hit rock bottom. You got to go broke. You got to suffer or whatever, because it's, look how hard it is to get people to even look at the possibility of having a different political view.
He got a point, man. He got a point. He has a point. He was afforded he was afforded the chance to go to a private school outside of his city, or outside of where his where he's originally from. You feel what I'm saying? So he got to see different shit at a young age. Not a lot of people have that. You feel what I'm saying? I didn't have that, which is why I didn't get my aha moment until 25, when I left and joined the military. You feel what I'm saying? Well, I joined the military at 24. I turned 25 in basic training. You feel what I'm saying? So I didn't get my aha moment until 25, when I left. That's when I started seeing different shit. You feel what I'm saying? So unless you have parents that can remove you from that surrounding and put you somewhere where they know you're gonna thrive and you have the potential to gain a different mindset, you almost kind of get trapped in that mindset of, you know what I'm saying, being a product of your environment. Which is another reason why I wanted to get my kids the fuck away from where I'm from. You know what I'm saying? I grew up in the hood. You feel what I'm saying? And when I got out the military, my stupid ass went back. You feel what I'm saying? And I placed my kids in that environment. You feel what I'm saying? But I fought like hell to get them the fuck up out of there. You dig what I'm saying? So, like I said, unless you want your children to just continue to be in the fucking hamster wheel, get them the fuck out. You feel what I'm saying? Or place them in environments where you know they won't gain that same mindset. Because it's counterproductive if you know for a fact your mindset is fucked up. Why the fuck would you want your children to have that same exact mindset if you know your shit is fucked up? You dig what I'm saying? Or you're just being naive and you're not being honest with yourself to tell yourself that your mindset is fucked up. You dig what I'm saying? You're supposed to want better for your kids. That's all I'm saying.
We, a lot of times, are like,
man, we see what's happening. We could see the lens because we used to be you.
Mm-hmm.
The motherfuckers will be like, nah, that's some sellout shit. And they don't care. You know what I'm saying? Because they've never been forced to make a decision that's different than the one that they used to be in.
Facts.
And unless they suffer, they will not make a decision for themselves. I don't care how grown they are. Nobody goes out and researches this for themselves. Most of the time they get curious because they either discover something because somebody else like gave them like a, man, look at what this nigga driving. Man, what you do for a living? And he give you some gems and now you get that itch in you, or it's a life circumstance that force you to have to deal with something differently. But most people don't go out and figure it out on their own.
That's a fact, though. That's a fact. Which is why growing up in the hood, most niggas they get excited by the neighborhood drug dealers. That's why. They see the neighborhood drug dealers, they the ones with the cars, they the ones with the clothes, they the one with the jewelry, they the ones with the girls. So you get excited by that, like, yo, I want that. You feel what I'm saying? So you kind of lean towards, I'm going to do that because that's the result that I want. But if you take that same kid, place him around a doctor, a lawyer, a real estate agent, fucking, you know what I'm saying? Somebody else that's walking a different path, but is achieving the same exact shit that the drug dealer is achieving, they might take another route. You know what I mean? Food for thought.
No, I 100% agree with that. I can't argue with anything that you said, for real. And unfortunately, everybody won't have the desire to do better, and some just won't even see it. That's to me, that's one of the biggest reasons why a lot of people are so focused on like what the government is providing and all of that stuff, because to your point, they're programmed for things to be set up a certain way and move in that direction. Whereas a lot of other people are like, I'm trying to figure out how to do this on my own. And don't get it twisted. Like, I'm not up here speaking like I have completely figured it all out. But to your point, Anton, when I was younger, I had that same type of experience. I remember I went to this program in California and it was all white people. I grew up in a black town. I'm thinking I'm coming here, like I got a high SAT score and this, that, and the third. They told me what their PSAT scores were. I was like, Dad, okay, okay.
I'll do you one better.
Take my butt back home.
You know why people join my Patreon? You know why I have one of the biggest Patreons on Patreon?
Probably because you show. Oh, go ahead.
It's because I show the receipts.
Mm-hmm.
People don't go to figure out what it is that they need to learn in order to be successful until you show them that bank statement. And it's like, wait, what is that? Because they do a double take, right? When you show niggas the lifestyle, it's like, all right, wait a minute. Let me the smart ones, right? Because it's not going to be everybody. It's probably going to be maybe 3 to 5% of the population is going to get curious. And they're going to say, well, all right, wait a minute. I need to see what the fuck is going on. You know what I'm saying? I need to go to the meetup, or I need to do this or whatever, so on and so forth, right? Then they go in and then I can show you, right? Now I can teach you how to fish. But they don't go out and seek the information on their own. They have to see some shit and it just shock them like, wait a minute. Who is this nigga? You know what I'm saying? Like, what?
Makes sense.
And then and let me tell you how bad the culture is, right? They still don't believe it. This nigga must have got some loss of money. Like they're going to try to psych themselves out of trying to do better for themselves and getting the information instead of
self-sabotage.
You know what I'm saying? They're natural because they're not used to seeing nothing. It's literally like slaves on a plantation. You see Jamie Foxx ride up. Who is this nigga? Why you not down here with us? Oh, you a special nigga, huh? Right? That's it is literally a slave mentality. And so it's impossible for them to pull themselves out because they have to break through the thing that they've been taught for the last 30 years in order to get curious. And most times people will do it silently because they don't want all of their friends to know that they actually rock with you. And then eventually they'll build up the courage and say, you know, man, fuck what these niggas talking about. We the bag chasers. That's how it works. But you got to see it. You have to see it.
Listen, I ain't gonna hold you. He has a valid point. He has a valid point. Sometimes you have to, and I understand his point when he says, you know, a lot of people do it in silence. I believe it's because when you're going through that transition and your mindset is starting to shift, some people do it in silence because they don't want to be influenced by what they're used to. You dig what I'm saying? There are some people that are easily influenced by depending on who the person is. Depending on who the person is and depending on who is the person that's delivering this message to them, they may be easily influenced and revert back to what they're used to. You dig what I'm saying? Because for example, let's just say you making a mindset shift and you hold your mother's opinion at such a high regard that she tell you, that sounds like some nonsense, boy. What is you doing? That could deter you from actually going forward. It could make you, you know what I'm saying, pivot back to what you're used to. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if I explained that right, but that's just how it came out of my mind. But listen, man, I agree with everything they said in this video, man. I agree with everything they said. We got to do better as a people, man. That's just what it is. You feel what I'm saying? Like, we have to do better. You dig what I'm saying? And me personally, I hope that, you know, everything that I'm trying to teach my children and everything that I'm trying to instill in my children can carry on. You know what I'm saying? And they can, because I know for a fact, whenever my children decide that they want to leave the nest and branch off on their own, I know for a fact that I will have them set up way better than I was set up when I left the nest. I had to figure that shit out on my own. You feel what I'm saying? I had to start from nothing. I had to start from ground zero. You feel what I'm saying? So we got to do better as a people, and we got to do better with, you know what I'm saying, going out and seeking the information and seeking the knowledge. You dig what I'm saying? Everything we want to know is right here. It's right in the palm of your hand. Everything you probably want to know is right in the palm of your hand, and most people just use it for bullshit. You feel what I'm saying? Let's get some act right. You dig? But y'all let me know how y'all feel down in the comments, man. I'll leave a link in the description, so if y'all want to go finish watching the video. Hell of a video, in my opinion, man. I fuck with it. You feel what I'm saying? And before you go, you already know I need you to like, comment, subscribe, share, all that good shit, man. I'll catch y'all on the next one. Bye!